Do you know what kind of animal lives in that little house? It's an owl. Do you know the sign for owl? It's this. Guess what? Blandford Nature Center is going to teach us about owls.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah and I'm the Wildlife Education Specialist here at Blandford Nature Center. And today I want to introduce you to one of our eastern screech owls named Dr. Who. Dr. Who is no longer able to live in the wild because when he did live in the wild, he was living in the hollow of a tree or perhaps was on the branch of his tree, and a gentleman that owned that property was trimming the tree with a chainsaw and didn't see Dr. Who because of the amazing camouflage that he has. And so that gentleman accidentally nicked Dr. Who with his chainsaw and took off 2 of his toes on his left foot and about half of his left wing. Missing those toes make it hard for him to perch. It also makes it hard for him to grasp onto prey. Here at Blandford Nature Center, we give our animals dead prey so that they don't run away from them, but in the wild, he'd be hunting down things that are alive. And then of course, if I turn him around, you can see that this wing goes all the way down to here, but this one does not. His left wing is the one missing that really important portion of it needed for flight. And so he can no longer fly, but he can hop and glide, but hopping and gliding isn't good enough to make you a really good, efficient hunter. Now for Dr. Who, as I've mentioned, he is an eastern screech owl, and eastern screech owls are very common here in Michigan. And he is as big as a male eastern screech owl will get. Females are a little bit bigger, mostly in weight than height or width. And so for him, he's not going to get much bigger than this, and a lot of people think he looks like a baby, but he's just a smaller owl, smaller species of owl. Now, a few things I like to talk about when I've got Dr. Who out are some really important owl adaptations. We all have heard that owls can turn their heads very far, not all the way around. Any animal that spun their head all the way around would snap their spine and die. They can turn their heads almost a full 360. They can go 270 degrees. That's 3/4 of the way. They can turn and look directly behind themselves, and the reason that they're able to do that is because of the extra bones in their neck. Us as humans, we've got about 7 vertebrae in our neck. Owls have 14. They have twice as many bones just in the neck portion of their spine than we do. And the reason they need to have those extra bones in order to turn their heads very far to look at the world around them is because those giant eyeballs are stuck looking forward. They're so big that they can't move like you and I. Look to the left, look to the right, look up, look down, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. They can't move those eyeballs, so they need to move their heads to see the world around them. And I can show you that Dr. Who can literally look right behind himself. And he's able to blink his eyes independently so that he's always focusing on the world around him. Close this eye, take a look around. And that's a really interesting adaptation for a predator because although he does need to keep his eye out for prey, he needs to keep his eye out for other predators as well. Small owls like screech owls are easy prey for larger owls like great horned owls or even red-tailed hawks. Or think about Dr. Who being stuck on the ground. Things like raccoons and opossums could easily snag him up and eat him. Thank you all so much for letting me introduce you to Dr. Who and for letting us teach you a little bit about the owls that make Michigan their home.
Wow, we learned a lot today. Thank you so much, Blandford Nature Center, for letting us come here and learn about the trails and the animals.